Hi, welcome to episode 3 of What is Climate Change and What Can I Do About It series. In this episode I want to talk about what's called the enhanced greenhouse gas effect. In the last episode I talked about the greenhouse gas effect, which is what keeps the earth warm and livable. The enhanced greenhouse gas effect is where we have been responsible for increasing the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, and this is what is causing the earth to globally warm, if I can put it that way. Prior to the Industrial Revolution, the parts per million of carbon dioxide, the main greenhouse gas in the atmosphere, were about 270 parts per million. It is now going over 400 parts per million, depending on the part of the time of the year. Now, the thing is, carbon flows between the atmosphere and the earth and the oceans in a cycle. One of the key ways that carbon dioxide is taken out of the atmosphere is by photosynthesis, which I always have trouble saying. But it takes a lot of the carbon out, and this is the worry that we're pulling down the forest, because there's less rainforest, less forest we have generally, the more carbon dioxide that's being taken, less carbon dioxide has been taken out of the atmosphere. And of course, in reverse, with the fires we have now, all of that carbon dioxide is being released. All that carbon is being released to turn into carbon dioxide. So you've got that cycle. And then you've got the major cycle, the number of other cycles, but the main one actually in terms of volume, the amount of carbon that's rotated between the atmosphere, is to the oceans. So in the cold parts of the oceans, carbon dioxide is taken up, and then it's emitted in a lesser amount in the hotter parts around the equator. But the net difference is always, to date, has always been in favour of more carbon dioxide taken out of the atmosphere than put back out. So the oceans have been like this huge carbon sink, and this is having its own impact as well. So what we have done, which is out of kilter for millions of years, is we've accessed fossil fuels and dug them up, and then we've started to release a significant amount of quantity of those fossil fuels in the atmosphere, and this is what has altered the balance. This is why the parts per million has gone up. They know where it's come from, because the isotope of carbon from fossil fuels is slightly different to carbon in the other long-term processes, root cycle processes. So they can measure those isotopes in the atmosphere, and this proves that the increase is from the burning of fossil fuels.